Hi and welcome to the Malat cookery channel. So in this video I'm going to be making breakfast cereal, or more specifically cornflakes. Now this is part of a much larger project where I'm looking to produce a decent, healthy and inexpensive breakfast cereal at home. Now I suspect this is not going to be as easy as some people have made out on the internet. So this is probably going to be one of a number of videos as we move through this journey to produce a decent breakfast cereal at home. So with any project like this, we have to make sure that we produce something which is as good if not better than the shop bought item, that is healthier than the shop bought item, and with regard to breakfast cereals, that is not going to be too difficult at all, because most breakfast cereals that you buy from the store are loaded with additives, with sugar and with salt. And the third thing is that we have to make it as easy as possible to make. There's no point in producing something that's really good but takes all day to produce it. So as usual, a full list of ingredients will be given at the end of the video, so let's have a look at those ingredients now and anything else we're going to need to produce this cornflake breakfast cereal. Right, so what we're going to need for our cornflakes is 250 grams of fine cornmeal, 250 millilitres of water, 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. The kit we're going to need, I've got an electric whisk, a pastry brush, and 2 large oven trays which have been lined with grease-proof or baking paper. Right, the first job then is to combine all of our dry ingredients. So the fine cornmeal, the sugar and the salt. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the water a little bit at a time using the electric whisk. And once we've got that all mixed in, just add in our vanilla essence. Right, now we've got that mixed well, we can pour this now into the trays, the baking trays. The reason I'm using an electric whisk is something as coarse as cornmeal, when we add water to it, if we don't mix it really well, it's got the potential for the water to actually start leaching out when we pour it into the baking trays, and we certainly don't want that. So that's the reason we need to make sure this is well blended before we place the mixture into the trays. So we take our first tray and pour in roughly half the mixture. And then I'm going to use this pastry brush just to even the mixture out across the entire surface of the tray. The reason I'm using this pastry brush is we want to get this mixture as thin as we possibly can. I've seen on the internet people trying this recipe and using a spatula. I really don't think that's going to get the mixture thin enough. I think it'll leave too many high spots. Okay, so that's the first tray done. We'll go ahead and do the second tray. I'm not sure if the lens can pick this up, but this is almost transparent. I can see some of the grease-proof paper through the mixture, and I still don't know if this is going to be thin enough. But we'll do the second tray and then we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so that's the second tray done. The trays are now going to go into a preheated oven, 150 degrees centigrade, for 50 minutes. And halfway through the cooking time, I'm just going to swap the trays over, swap them between shelves, just to make sure that they bake evenly. Right, so these are straight from the oven. Let's just see what we've got. Hopefully you can see this through the lens. So a couple of the attempts I saw on the internet, people were having to cook the corn mixture for about 20 minutes, then tear it by hand to get flakes, get it into sort of a flakes shape, and then cook it again for another 20 or 30 minutes. And for me, that was just too much effort because people just wouldn't do that. So the theory of making the paste as thin as possible and cooking it at a lower temperature for a longer time seems to have worked. So here, the corn mixture is actually broken up on its own into flakes. So that part seems to be working. What I'm going to do now is leave this to cool, then break it up into what looks like cornflakes, and then it's the taste test. Let's see how it tastes. So our cornflake sheet has cooled down. Just flexing the greaseproof paper was enough to break this up. So actually breaking up the sheet into flakes has been no effort whatsoever. So let me just show you this. So this is a sort of a typical flake where it's dark yellow on one side, and the side which has been uppermost during the cooking process has just gone a lighter colour yellow. Very thin. I don't think we can actually get this any thinner than that. I would say it's getting very close to how thin a cornflake is. It's just a little bit thicker, that's all. It's crisp, it breaks up, so the only thing to do now is really taste it, and if this actually tastes okay, I think we've done it. Okay, so we've got our little bowl of cereal, got some milk in there, a little bit of sugar on top. It certainly looks the part. Let's just give it a taste. So you've got that crunch. The taste I would describe as a cross between a cornflake and a bran flake. There is though a little bit of aftertaste, and I suspect that's the cornmeal. So we're definitely going to have to sort that out, but that isn't bad at all. It really isn't. So I'm going to put this down as a really decent attempt. I don't think we're there yet. I think there's still a way to go. So in the second video, I'm obviously going to learn and improve on what we've done today. Please subscribe to the channel, and as usual, if you've enjoyed this particular video, hit the like button. Thank you very much for watching.